There's hundreds, if not thousands, of canned wines and cocktails out there, so let's make this simple. Any can that you see on the screen during this video is something that I would buy without hesitation, and it's something that I have bought before. And then you can click the link down in the description to check all of them out. Now, I'm gonna start with the wines, but stick around to the end, because one of America's favorite RTD brands just entered the can game. The first can of wine that I remember ever seeing or tasting was Underwood Rosé, and to this day, it's still one of my favorite options. Back then, they were pretty much the only game in town when it came to canned wine, but nowadays, you can find pretty much any kind of wine that you want in a can. Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio, Chardonnay, Cabernet, Merlot, Pinot Noir, heck, even stuff like Dry Lambrusco comes in a can now. Then you have what I call your Sunday cans for the brunch crowd. Ramona Blood Orange Spritz is delicious, and if you're more into making your own brunch cocktails, Archer Roost Bubbly is a great can of sparkling wine. And it goes beyond just traditional wine. You can find sake and mead in cans now. Bushido Way of the Warrior and Yomi Afterlife are just two examples of great sake that you can get in a can. And Bull and Bee Meadery, based out of Albany, New York, makes some really unique meads that are all in a can. Even those ultra-popular brands like Bartonura, Riscato, and Matua have started putting things in cans. But of course, wine and its extended family isn't the only thing that goes in a can these days. Now, everyone knows the basics like High Noon. Personally, I like keeping the pineapple around because it's a good mixer and it's just nice, light, and refreshing on its own. But that's just one of the, million flavors that High Noon does. There's a ton of options when it comes to your vodka seltzers. Now, how many of you can remember a time before High Noons were on the market? If you can, and you can name any of the canned cocktails that existed back then, Cutwater is probably one of the first things that'll come to mind. Cutwater makes a whole line of canned cocktails that are a little bit more complicated than your average vodka soda, which is great because it cuts out time if you want to have an espresso martini, or a spicy Bloody Mary, or a spicy mango margarita. Now, there was a super intense can boom a few years ago. I'm talking thousands of brands that came and went within a couple years. It was so nuts that I even tasted a can of vodka and water at some point. Yet, with all of that, somehow there was still a void that was left open. Nobody had quite come out successfully with a vodka and iced tea or a vodka lemonade. That changed pretty recently when Surfside came into the picture. They make an awesome iced tea and vodka and a great lemonade and vodka. But what about more serious, spirit-forward cocktails? Stuff you might find in like a craft cocktail bar. Well, yeah, you can get those in cans too now. Tip Top is the first name that comes to mind when it comes to stuff like this. Do you like old fashions, espresso martinis, paper planes? Well, Tip Top has you covered. They make an incredible selection of top-of-the-line bar-quality cocktails that come in cans, so you can enjoy them from your own home without overspending in a bar or having to make them yourself. Now, I know a lot of you are true brand loyalists, and maybe On the Rocks is your go-to ready-to-drink cocktails. On the Rocks is one of the bigger RTD names, and they make solid, foolproof cocktails that aren't void of character but aren't overcomplicated. And the price is usually awesome on their bottles. But I've always had one problem with On the Rocks. They only make bottles. But guess what? On the Rocks makes cans now. These brand new, just now hitting the shelves On the Rocks cans include flavors like Sparkling Lime Margarita, Mango Mint Mojito, Cucumber Lemongrass Mule, Peach Cosmo, and Pina Colada. And if I know anything about On the Rocks and how they operate, this is just the beginning. Now, like I said earlier, you can check out every single can that you saw in this video down in the description right now. Just go ahead and click the link. I'll also put a link in there for all of the On the Rocks cans, so you can look at those specifically if that's why you were here. What's your opinion on canned wine and canned cocktails? Are you a no-can kind of person, or have you embraced the future already? Don't forget to share this video with a friend. Don't forget to share this video with a friend, because wine and spirits are always better when you're sharing it with someone else. Anyway, that's going to be it for me this week, and I'll see you next time. Adios.